Video game opinions are a lot like politics. They divide people, and everybody's bias blinds them from recognizing legitimate aspects from the other side. The only way to remain objective is you can't. It's impossible. Something personal drives you to form every opinion you have, however inconsequential, rooted in your past experience. Everything you believe is either in support or defiance of what your life has so far tried to teach you. Some people can ruminate long enough within themselves to answer those questions. Those that can't are why therapists have jobs. I was watching some Days Gone gameplay on the Game Informer website. It's that new zombie game coming out with the giant hordes that was at E3 a while ago, and many people, including me, saw it, internalized the word zombies, and said, fuck that. Seeing more gameplay of it, though, makes me think it'll probably be an alright game. It's open world, which means I won't finish it, but I'll watch it get half a point lower score on average than Horizon Zero Dawn probably, and buy it. The thing about Days Gone that is basically the only reason anyone talks about it is its hordes. Sometimes there are literally hundreds, upwards of 1,000 individual zombies moving as a pack that you will be expected to run a train around until you kill all of them for certain missions and activities. And these are fast movers too. They ain't stumbling around tripping over themselves, they're signed up for the 100-meter dash. There was a conspiracy going around that the E3 footage was fake because ironically people didn't believe how alive that horde of zombies felt, and while this new gameplay didn't take place on a 5 million inch TV screen, it's still no joke. But the point is, tackling hordes like this is something people would consider difficult. And Days Gone only has one difficulty setting, so nobody's getting a free ride, and people who need to be carried through every game they play are crying foul that the developers won't give them a pacifier mode. I'm being dismissive on purpose so I can make fun of them, but I'll illustrate a fairer point later. I saw a comment under that video where the guy was like, so, the Dark Souls of zombie games, huh? Which right away shut the fuck up. That shit was funny, ironically, for an hour when it rose to memehood, but the irony has disappeared and now it's just a staple of people's rhetoric, and people who say it don't even do so to be funny anymore, they just feel like they have to because they can think of no other ways to describe games anymore. It's completely misrepresentative and it has no meaning. So then the guy continued, after he said it was the Dark Souls of zombie games, he said, "Guess I'm canceling my pre-order. I don't feel like breaking controllers in frustration. Way to go, let's make a game so hard only a small percentage of gamers can actually play and not have difficulty settings so casual gamers can enjoy their most anticipated game." Now, I know I just made fun of certain casual gamer types out there, but I don't think of casual gamers as like not real gamers, kind of. But that said, this dude's entire statement can get the fucking boot. Firstly, why have you already pre-ordered a game that is not releasing for at least 300 days? It's tentatively slated for 2019. People don't buy houses that far in advance unless they're the ones building them, unless you're just trying to set up a $60 surprise gift for yourself when the game is delayed 6 months later and your money's refunded. That's what happened to me with South Park. Secondly, I can read this guy like a book because of his next sentence. I don't feel like breaking controllers in frustration. That, coupled with the fact that you're a casual gamer, so you play video games to relieve tension, only you have severe anger issues and an inferiority complex you might not even acknowledge. Nevertheless, you avoid competition because you hate losing when that's all you're capable of, and failing tests of skill at higher difficulties makes you feel worthless and unimpressive. But rather than take responsibility for your blaring shortcomings, you blame the controller in your hand and punish it for your own incompetence, inflicting physical damage to it in an attempt to alleviate some of your emotional damage in the process because you're either too afraid to skip the surrogate and just self-harm the source, or you do cut yourself, but it's not enough. The way he says only a small percentage of gamers, when referring to the group of people he thinks are capable of doing what he can't, means he's got an ego problem to boot, which is not something you should have when you can't even beat an open-world zombie game. This is a bit of a tangential reach, but if Days Gone was your most anticipated game, not only are you definitely an alcoholic who feels trapped in your relationship or marriage, but if you'd flip so easily as to let the news of the difficulty ruin that whole thing for you, you're probably a violent one too. You should leave. I'm concerned for your partner's well-being. Also, your dick is small and you wear mom jeans. Gamers who are elitists when it comes to difficulty can't seem to recognize a middle ground between being number one in the world and being the fucking worst. I still get comments on certain videos from people who truly believe that I suck at games I can't possibly suck at. You can't be bad at games like God of War, Dark Souls, and Cuphead and beat them. It's not possible. Only 47% of people who own Bloodborne have the trophy for beating Father Gascoigne, the first non-optional boss of that game. 53% 90% of people can't beat the first boss. These are the bad people. I and many others have beaten the game multiple times. We literally can't be bad. And if you disagree with that, you hold yourself to a higher standard than you deserve. These are the same people who, similarly to the casual guy from Days Gone, would cancel a pre-order of, say, Bloodborne 2 if it turned out that FromSoft was giving it an optional easy mode. Forget ruffling their feathers, that shit would molt these bitches. They would become bald chickens running around with their bald heads cut off while their disembodied beak squawks on and on about something that can't possibly affect their gameplay experience. The same people who maybe laughed when I belittled the casual gamer would become incensed over the exact same principle as the table turns in their direction. And that is what I call politics. And I'm like everyone else. I'm biased against both sides. I'm biased against casual gamers because I've played games for 20 years, but many companies try to appeal to them instead, and there are more casual gamers than serious ones, so it financially rewards companies to do that. I'm biased against elitist gamers because they think they're better than me out of principle, which directly conflicts with my own principle of being better than all of them. It's a pissing contest, and I've got enough bags of urine to fill a hospital. My ego drives both biases, and most other ones too. It's a quirk, but it's also the catalyst for 95% of my comedy, so I think it's helpful. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and whatnot, and I'll see you guys next time.